Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel, and today I wanted to share with you an unbagging of a folio game that I've just purchased. Another one from the historical game company stable, produced via Blue Panther in the States. Got this from Second Chance Games in the UK, as I do a lot of my game purchases, and I have bought a number of these in recent months. I like the fact that they're very small footprint, very easy, very straightforward, fun games that can be played solo or with another player, and they don't take up a lot of space, particularly the folio games. I like the quality of the components, the Blue Panther counters, the canvas map that you get with the games, and there's been some really unusual battles in periods that I haven't gamed before become available. So you will have seen some of my other videos linked to these titles. There's still a few I'm watching, some really interesting things out there. So these are great little games. This one, obviously, as you can see, is on a subject that most historical gamers will know all about: the Battle of Stalingrad, 1942. However, this perhaps is looking at it from a slightly different perspective, in that we're looking at the German attack on Stalingrad here, not the German defense. So the Russians are putting up a stiff resistance, fighting from the rubble. Some would term the War of the Rats. Winter is approaching. It's imperative the Germans conquer the city quickly, as well as the Russians intended to make Stalingrad the death knell of the German Sixth Army, and this is what the game is based on. So as you can see, it's a very, very low counter density, as it often is with these games. 48 counters, that's all. One 4-page set of rules, 20 cards which run the game. I'll come on to that in a moment. A small game map and 1 dice. The game is ideally suited for 2 players, plays in about an hour and a half, but I have played these solo, and certainly that is my plan with this one initially, to get it out and have a little game solo, see how it works. So let's show you what you get in the bag as far as components are concerned. What I like about this Stalingrad game is the fact that it's based from the German attack rather than the German defense, which a lot of games out there are. So you get pretty much the nice artwork here, which gives you sort of a real flavour. This is the map that you're going to be playing over, very similar to the layout of a lot of the maps in the games, with the game turn track on the right, the eliminated units boxes, and then the main canvas map playing area, which is not big, as we'll see in a moment. So you get literally a folding sheet of rules. This is the first one in the stable which has tanks, aircraft, artillery and things in it. Most of them to date have been pre-World Wars, and therefore more easy to maybe put into these type of games. So it'll be interesting to see how this one plays. It's full colour. It's, as I say, set out very much in the format of the previous games. They look a bit dry, the rules, and there's a lot going on those pages, but they are very straightforward. And actually, if you take the fact that the back page is predominantly a terrain sheet and a bit of background design notes, is actually only 3 pages of rules, which is excellent. Allows you to get playing really quickly. Different terrain will give different benefits or negatives to the players concerned. So that's literally the rules. You got this small counter sheet, Blue Panther counters. Let's zoom those in so you can see them a little bit easier. So these are naturally the Russians, very easy to read. You can see the critical information there. You've got anti-tank, you've got submachine gun units, you've got a bit of anti-aircraft there, bunkers, very nice. And then you've got the Germans, they've got the Luftwaffe, Stukas, artillery. Looks like they've got some self-propelled artillery there, which is great. Not sure if that's a flamethrower, maybe. It could be like Pioneers. And then you got normal infantry, some half tracks, and some panzers. And then on the back, again, these are the sides that are used when the units are pretty much frozen in the game and can't do very much other than defend. So it's a little bit like a step loss, or is it more a disorder effect that comes into play during the game, and this is their defense factor that they then use from that point of view. So yeah, not much there to set up, not much to get stuck in with, particularly for a period like this. So that's interesting. You get one little dice always with these games, and then you get the canvas map, which is this really nice easily foldable material with great artwork always. You got sort of some of the famous sites there of the Stalingrad area, the grain elevator, Pavlov House, the Red October factory, Tractor Works. These games don't ever claim to be, historical simulations. They're designed to be fun, to provide a flavour of the period, and maybe get you to go and have a look in a bit more detail at what went on and learn a bit more. They're great introductory games, but I, as a reasonably experienced player of board games, Wargames, would say I think they're just as good for experienced players as well. I think they offer some nice tactical challenges. Great thing with these maps is that they do lay flat. You can put plexi over them, but I don't think you'd need that once we get the crease out of the middle there, which will fall out naturally. So some nice details, but it's a small footprint, which is great. And as I say, you've got your eliminated boxes turn track there. But the main driver of the game is always the cards, and again, there's not many of those, literally 20, so it's not a big number of cards to look after and use. So just to show you some of the artwork, so you've got normally sort of equal numbers of Russian and German cards, which the players will play with. Small deck, as you can see there. So these will basically allow you to, they'll tell you for that turn what you can move and attack with, any special rules that come into play for that turn, and the same with the Russians. And these are what drive the game. So the card allows you to plan your turn, what you want to do. Sometimes you don't get the card you want. You can't activate the units that you want. That adds a little bit of friction, which I always like in my games. But it's also a very simple system, and it follows very much the same line as all the previous publications, all the different games. And there's a lot of these coming out at the moment. I saw an article from the writers of these games not so long ago, saying that he'd had a lot of these games ready and written to go for a long time, and now he was able to get them all published, so they're coming out thick and fast. But he's got a great system here. It offers, as I say, a low footprint, straightforward rule set that offers a bit of fun, great components, and some really interesting artwork as well. So that's the Battle of Stalingrad game from the Historical Game Company. A strategy game on the Battle of Stalingrad 1942. Easy to learn and play. I would agree with that. I hope you've enjoyed this little unbagging of this folio game, and I hope it generates some interest to go out and find a little bit more about this range of games. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and see you all again very soon.